Where are we at? This working? Let's see. Let's check. Where are we at? Okay. Don't have my nice mic today, so you gotta do a crappy mic. But very good stream nonetheless. Coming up. I don't know if the audio is working on this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Close all these windows. That's better. Okay. Is the chat working? So far we got 0 views. Very cool. What else? I don't know if it's working actually. I gotta log in. Hold on. It really helps when you haven't done this in like 6 months and you're on a new computer. Streaming from a different computer, if you can believe it or not. Finally have a cool XP setup, but I haven't really tested it out much. So let me go to my page and see if everything is working. Okay, to the 2 people watching, one of them is probably me, but nonetheless, thank you for showing up. I think the audio is broken on this thing because I'm actually using a capture card, if you can believe it, to capture from this computer I've set up recently. Very nice Windows XP machine. Good for playing all the old video. But the only issue is that I guess it's because I use DisplayPort compared to HDMI, and that is not working right now. So there's no audio right now, it seems. I don't know if there's a remedy for this. Let me see if I can try to patch in the audio somewhere else. Hold on. Let me cable here. In the meantime, you can put in the chat how you feeling about the site right now, because I'll be discussing that shortly. I want to get this actually working, so I'm kind of just standing up and looking for fire. How are y'all doing, Wapchan.org users? Everyone's favorite site for posting really mediocre rand memes, as we know. Hold on. I did not plan because I'm actually going to start doing streams regularly soon. This is almost like a test of sorts. There we go. This should work. Okay, hold on. Gotta patch on the audio. Luckily, I have an interface that should be able to do that well. One moment. I can't see the chat, by the way. It's a wireless microphone, so I'm about to work on my stuff. But give me a moment. Where is that little code? It's always annoying when you have to adapt 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch. Okay. It's gonna work. It should work. Hold on. Okay, just this will take another few seconds-ish because I got this USB audio interface that should be able to take in the headphone output. But I need a Type B cable. Oops, Type B cable. USB Type B. Everyone's favorite printer cable. Okay, where is it? There we go. minute or so. But yeah, building, I actually didn't build this computer. I used it for my server, but having a Windows XP machine makes playing all those old VNs so much better. Really is the preferred way if you have an old Optiplex, do yourself a favor and install XP on it because these like Ivy Bridge series chips are some of the last to actually support XP, which makes them really great for playing Windows XP era VNs and games and all the old Toho games. They work very well on this. It's a lot better than using like modern Windows. I mean, I can't seriously understand why people use something that serves you ads every 5 seconds. I use a Mac on my main stuff, and I'm not the biggest fan of Mac OS and all of its BS, but at least I don't get ads every 5 seconds. Okay, hold on, just gotta patch this in. Okay, oh, come on, let's go in there. Now I take this. Let's see. Let's see if we hear anything. All right, I think that's working. Super cool. I can see the audio graphs at least. So now we can start talking about the website. Just a moment. So first of all, if you're new or old to Wapchan, welcome to a great stream by Wapchan.org. So what is Wapchan? For the people unfamiliar, okay, Wapchan is really cool in the fact that you can actually access it on Windows XP. So if I, go to this site, there you go, fully functional. That's something I take a lot of pride in. I would like to build a site for HTML4 usage. It's not up yet, but even the audio streaming works. Apparently that is really loud, actually. I did not know that. I'm looking. I can't tell the levels right now. I'm gonna turn the audio on and see what sound, but I can't hear it. Okay. My first computer, it was a little, not as fast as this one, yes, it is, because I can definitely tell the audio is going through. But I can't even hear it now, but everyone's gonna have to hold on for 1 second. Let me remove this and add it back. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm sure everyone, I don't know if everyone likes the current board structure. I think we have a lot of boards right now. I've added some, I've removed some over the time. So, like for example, this one, everyone knows Mon, it was added fairly recently, and yeah, the site is really scaled up right now. Hold on. There we go. This is 100%. So everything looks a little like this actually renders really well on Windows XP, which it surprised me because I built this site for modern computers, even though it's an old style site. It's built with HTML5 and stuff. Luckily, there's an old port of Firefox that still supports XP, which is pretty wild actually. And this site works on it. Um, but anyways, we're not going to be really focused on that today. I'm going to talk about the site a lot, but I'm going to be doing other things. So here's some fun thing you can do on these old computers. I got these little, they call them like little desktop people or something, They just chill on my computer, I mean, I'm sure we're all big Igarashi fans here, so, if you ever want to have these little guys, they're actually made for like Windows 7 or something, but they run perfectly well on here. And first of all, let me close these guys because they get really loud and they just say random sounds like every 5 seconds, which is probably really cool, but also really annoying. So not right now. Right now we're gonna, where are we? Here we are. So actually, I made this old joystick out of hat parts a while ago. Of a site that was neglected for a long time. That was a good I'm very talkative. site, then it bans the user and it's blocked. We got that it wasn't good. And you're willing to be a moderator. there's like not a lot of great place internet. That's more for Wapchan or any other Infinity style board. The board's performance has to be nothing great. It's just an entirely separate site. The way to interact with it. It's almost like there's these communities that existed entirely as you can see, I'm actually good at this game if I'm not talking every 5 seconds. Not great, but we're working on that. So, anyways, the boards, they existed separately. And I'm like, wouldn't it be great if we had a site where the boards actually, they all did hate each other? And Wapchan is trying to implement that kind of thing. I believe that the boards should work together. I understand board culture is a big thing. I respect that. Let's play Soku. Not Soku. This one. Oh, damn, I'm going full screen. This might break the stream. Hold Yeah, I don't have joystick key for the other games that actually do have joystick support, but for this one I got to. So here we go, and then where's the configurator? Hold on. It's not so. I'm rambling about boards now. What I'm saying basically is that Wapchan, they wanted to make a site where the boards work together, where you could feel like you never felt like a tourist. That was the big thing that I believe. You feel like a tourist, you lost the point of everything. Wapchan is not a site that is going to say, "Oh man, you never seen an old anime, damn, you can't be here." I'm like, that doesn't seem right to me, because I believe that there's good places to see old anime. Shoot, this one's really low resolution. That's why I believe that it's good to have something I literally cannot hear it on my audio because basically I got okay, sorry. Hold on. Just so you know, in the future, I'm probably gonna have a solution for SciTube users because SciTube doesn't support YouTube live streams, which is super annoying. Let me try actually. Let me try this. I'm not playing anything right now, but so just for anyone listening and saying, "Wow, this stream sucks ass," well, it's my first one in forever, so you know, cut me a little bit slack. But hold on. I'm actually gonna try right now to get the stream working, and if it works, then I'll put it in the chat. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's see what we have. Will this work? Will this work? Oh shit, this actually did work. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Okay. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat. Hold on. Sorry, I totally forgot this actually worked. You know why? Because I tried to add it before I actually started, and it just kept saying it wouldn't work. Okay, hold on. Let me switch back to edit monitor. I know it's all a little disoriented today. I apologize. Other streams will be run soon. This one's just a little janky, but that's what you come to expect at this site. Okay, here we go. I see everything. Audio's working. Okay, let me turn down my audio. Okay. If anyone's inside to say something. Oh shoot. Oh, it's you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey man, sorry about the stream gone for a while. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Okay. I actually can't embed SciTube, which is super dumb. I mean, I guess I could, but it would be kind of stupid too, so I'm not going to right now. But maybe next time I will. So for anyone actually here, so please tell me if the audio is not going to burn your ears off. Because I can't hear the audio, because basically I got my headphones running to the computer's audio. They're not running to my other XP computer, they're running to my main computer, which is a Mac. So basically I took the headphone out and just put it into my USB audio interface that I use to record music. So, thank you. Yes, I see this. Yeah, I'm kind of good. Let me know if that's good, because again. My interface obviously is meant for like guitars and stuff. It's not meant for lining, but this is the only piece of USB hardware I have that. I turned myself back up. So let's get back to what we're talking about. We're talking about building a good site. So I was saying, if you want to build a good site. Yeah, I wanted my audio too. Was that too loud? I'll turn myself back up again. Yeah, here's myself at a higher. Okay. Okay, yes. So let me know if this is good. 12 people on SciTube. Welcome. Welcome to our first stream in a while. But oh, thank you. Yes. So. Also, in case you're wondering why the CSS is a little funny, it's because I visited the 25 Days of Autism stream, and I was like, wow, those guys have really good CSS. And I'm like, I need to implement that in my streams, because those guys have seemingly mastered the art of SciTube. So if I can, crimp a bit of their style and make my streams look a lot nicer, that will go a long way. So that's why I was random icons. That's people's names right now. But anyways, So Wapchan, I wanted to build a good, effective site that people can enjoy using. You know, they don't have to feel like I'm gonna not play the game again. So yeah, I can't hear the game at all, but that's okay. In the future, this will not be messed up like this. I keep saying sorry, but I want to play something else. You know, here's something cool you can do. Let me switch back to my input because I have two monitors, and I use one of them to switch between the Windows XP system. You know, it's really nice when you build a late XP system like this because it has DisplayPort out, which you can just adapt to HDMI. Now, there's no audio through it, but you still get 1080p video, and it runs really nice. So, but here's a cool thing you can do. You got one of these XP class machines. You can play an original version of Higurashi, which opens in full screen, so that's annoying, and I can't see it. But oh, here we go. And yeah, it runs to 640 by 40. It's ridiculous. But it looks great on my Tube TV, my CRT, which in the future I actually might try to do streams from there. I'm not doing it right now because I don't have any sort of setup for that audio, but I basically have a camera pointed at this CRT I have, which so if you ever wanted to play this game, if you ever wanted to hear the original audio, no, I don't want to start from the beginning. Shoot, I screwed up. Let's get out of here. But I wanted to play the original translations, you know, the fan ones, because people always say the manga gamer ones, you know, they're okay. And by the way, here's something super cool you could do if you ever build a OPC. You can set up Samba Share and just have access to all your random crap on here. So I can go through and I can go to the same sort of files I use for oh shoot, not that one. Same sort of files I use for my regular viewing pleasure. So you know I can just open this VLC streaming off a network, and oh shoot, it's the new Rama version, which I haven't watched a lot of at all. You know, I've watched very little of it actually. Okay, it's not working, probably because I don't have HDCP or whatever. That's stupid, but I can watch something else. You know, here we go. See, this one doesn't work. This one actually works because it's not, you know, crap. But basically, you can run this on a CRT and actually watch it in 640 by 480, which looks really nice with the old with like yellow subs. Like that's the experience right there. So um, that's why I like having this besides building a VM. You know, just having the ability to run stuff natively is really cool. Let's see if I can. What else do we have on here? I haven't done much work on this computer. I'm gonna start making a whole series of YouTube videos about old VNs and stuff, and I'm gonna load it up with a bunch of old games. But right now we just got old Toho games, so I'll do the perfect cherry blossom. After all, it is, you know, it is Letty's time of the year, as we say. The first snowfall for around my area, the first big snowfall was like a few days ago. It was annoying because I had to drive that day, and it's really fun to drive when they don't actually fix the roads correctly. Um, So, you know, of course, you know, and also my windshield. Um, shoot, I shouldn't be running the exe stuff. I should be running the wrapper. But so when you're trying to, you know, get ice off your car, you gotta put the heater on, then take out your big ice scraper, and you gotta go over the windshield. And it takes like, you know, 20 minutes. It took like 5 minutes. I don't know why I said 20, but it felt like 20. You know, if you ever done that, you would know. So, I like talking about cars. I don't know honestly, but I like talking about cars. I'm not a car person. I will be a car person probably one day. But my folks just got Toyotas. Oh shoot, I didn't. By the way, I haven't played this game at all on this computer, so the buttons are mapped correctly. Let me fix that. So what's new with Wapchan? I don't know if anyone's seen the Toho VM. That I think I talked about it like before already on here, but I'm impressed, you know, that people are actually, you know, coming on here and working honestly to make something that, you know, could actually turn out good. You know, I'm a big believer in VMs. I actually got a Steam Deck not too long ago just to play them, but that's for playing the modern ones on the go. But for playing the classic experience, you know, nothing really beats a Windows XP class PC and a fast one too. You know, there's no reason why I'd run an actual Pentium 4 when I could run an Intel i5 that still plays software at the correct speed and, you know, has the added input of not sounding like a jet engine every 5 seconds. there's a balance between having an authentic experience and having a period accurate experience. Okay, here we go. So shooting. Let's see. Where is it? 12. Oh, I do have the buttons. I'm just hitting the wrong buttons. Silly me. Anyways, I don't know what people want out of Wapchan. I'll do myself. It's funny. If I rock the joystick, it goes back and left like an actual joystick would, because it's a little shaky. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it shoots the Christmas trees. So anyways, what was I saying? I need to switch the buttons. It's confusing the heck out of me. For some reason, I have the bomb and slow buttons reversed. It's really confusing me because I'm using an 8-button joystick. Basically, I built it with 8 buttons. In like that fighting stick arrangement, and so I'm using the first button on the top left for my shooting, the one on my left for swell, and the one below me for bombs. Oh, look at this, see? Someone's give me a second. I'm going crazy here. You know what? It's I have Joy 2 key open. That's screwing me up because Joy 2 key will intercept all that crap. Hold on. Yeah, see, here's the problem. I should. I'm using the actual regular. Okay, give me a second. This is driving me crazy. Okay, here we go. We're gonna kill like a normal person. I'll check it out, by the way. 4 cores on Windows XP for basically no reason. It's great. This computer has 12 gigs of RAM, and this only uses 4 of them because it's 32-bit. But the other memory is just still there, and it's nice because I can boot up modern version of like Debian or something, or Fedora if I wanted to actually do normal stuff with this computer. But I'll have this dig around with, and I have other era computers to stick around with that I'll be making videos with. I got a G4 Mac Mini not too long ago for relatively cheap, and those are really cool systems because they're the newest systems to natively run Mac OS 9. Now, obviously, oh my God, I'm laughing because I'm like, I didn't fix the joystick buttons. Come on, shot. Here we go. Here we go. That should be correct. What was I saying? So it's nice to have these old computers that are new. There we go. But I don't want to play right now. Computers that are new enough to do stuff with, but still old enough to have all the old kind of fun. Because like if you're running Mac OS 9, sure you can get some mediocre like 7500 or one of those second generation PowerPC ones. But you might as well just get a G4 and have it run really nice and have it use way less power. That's the thing with retro people. I have a few old computers that I actually play games on. I have a 486 that runs okay. But for like actually making videos and stuff, I'd probably typically just use stuff that's faster. But still, runs the correct operating system with drivers. That's the big thing. You got to have drivers. Because obviously, you can run Windows XP on, like a Ryzen or anything newer, and yeah, it works. But you get crappy VGA generic graphics because there's no drivers. People stop making drivers. If you got drivers, then you can do stuff. So that's my tip to anyone who wants to do similar setup to this. Now these Optiplexes are actually, it's funny enough, they're being sold for more than when I bought it. I think I bought this one like 7 or 8 years ago, and I bought it for like $100. I used it for my seed box for a long time. As you can see, I've definitely upgraded since then. I upgraded to a much lower power setup actually, that's a lot faster. But for a first time seed box and Proxmox server, this was a perfectly good computer, and I'm happy to give it a new life as an old games machine. So now what are we talking about Wapchan? I'm doing more streams tomorrow. We're bringing back the weekly streams because now I finally have time to actually do them. And we're gonna be doing a lot of that way. This is like I love this song specifically is like one of my favorite songs. The Zun trumpets. Yeah, they go very hard. But so what am I saying? So we're gonna do a lot of retro anime streams. Luckily there's a lot of great Christmas episodes in old anime that I really enjoy. I think tomorrow we're gonna be doing the one from Miyuki. I don't know if anyone's seen that. It's an 1983 Adachi work. One of the only works he did that had basically nothing to do with sports, which is interesting when you think about it actually, because he was really known for doing sports stuff. But no, this is something that had basically nothing to do with sports. Yeah, they're mentioned, but it's not like he's not trying to go to what's it, Great Center or whatever. I cannot. I'm thinking I'm not reading it. I'm thinking off the top of my head, so I don't know how to pronounce it off the top of my head correctly. But the big baseball thing, basically. And that's not what it's about. It's about you got this guy who's like he lives in Japan, and his dad lives in Canada. And his sister lived in Canada for many years, but then she moved back to Japan to take care of him, and then he got this classmate with the same name, and things yada yada yada. They're not related. It's a great story, but it has a great Christmas episode too, and it's probably one that a lot fewer people have seen. I mean, everyone knows the Urusei Christmas episodes. I mean, episode 10, that's probably the most famous episode in the whole series. The one with the Pitter Patter Christmas Eve. There's also the Summer Christmas one. That's such a really funny one. It's surprising because they only had 2 Christmas episodes, and you would think they'd have a lot more because they were on for like 6 years. But then again, they only had one Valentine's Day episode, so I guess they weren't big holiday people. Like you can see my mad skills here. Anyways, ooh, someone else joined. Hello, user. I think he held down the key too long, but I respect that. So. There'll be other ones. I know there's a good one from Touch, I think. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but they're not gonna be very long streams. It's gonna be like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. But I'm also planning to do a big, massive Grandma 1/2 watch through closer to New Year's, because for anyone who's been part of this whole storytime journey for a few years now, some will remember that back when the Urusei Yatsura, back when the reboot was announced, right when I opened Wapchan, I did I think it was like a 4 or 5 day live stream of the entire old anime, which is a very long series. Okay, in terms of all anime, it's not very long, but it's a long work. It's like it takes like 4 days to watch the whole thing, because it's not only does it have like 200 episodes, it's got 6 movies and it's got all those OVAs. Oh, hey, I respect that, man. I get it. We all gotta work. Luckily, it's the weekend for me, so I don't have to work right now. I wish you the best of luck in whatever you're doing. You can always watch the replay or something. But just so you know, when I say that I'll be doing the live stream, doesn't mean I'm gonna be awake for like 5 days straight whenever my stream happens. That wasn't what I did previously either. I'm not, mentally insane. I gotta keep my sleep schedule in check, but people are always gonna be on, and I have the server space to host this kind of thing, so I'm gonna be doing that. And I'll be watching some of the. Oh, okay. Glad the audio is fixed, so it's not going on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I might. Actually, it's funny. I set up a separate channel for Wapchan because this channel is gonna be used for entirely different stuff, like retro anime stuff, but it's gonna be about my content and not the site's content, which are not the same thing, but. I wanted to stream on that channel today, and it's like, oh, you gotta wait 24 hours after setting up the account to stream, which I thought was like, really, Google? Like, why you gotta do that? So when I moved both of the previous streams, the previous one and this one, to that channel, I'm gonna fix the audio so it doesn't sound like I'm dying, or it doesn't burn out your ears. I've worn out a few speakers before. It's funny. I had this Western Electric trimline phone. One of the, I think it's a rotary phone from like the 70s, and I was able to cut out an old RCA to 1/8 inch jack, and you could actually basically strip the wires and then wrap them around the screw posts, and then you could actually use it as a speaker or microphone, it sounds delightfully crappy. It's a really fun experience. But it's also nice because you can use it as, you can use the crappy carbon mic in it, and you get that, you get that telephone sound, which we all love or hate. It sucks because for the longest time I was able to use it, but then my folks got shit. That was felt like a dash at one, but my folks got a VoIP set up, and it turns out those don't support pulse dialing, which sucks because we all got to use touchtone. I mean, come on, pulse dialing is way better. But so anyways, that phone basically had no life in my house for actual phone calls, and it sucked because that's one of the ones with the actual bells. I love the actual bells in the phones. It's just different. It's different when you hear the ring ding. Oh my god, yeah. I'm not good doing when you're running with a joystick. I cannot do the pinpoint kind of thing. That's how the best players are still keyboard players, because they can do the tiny taps. Because remember, when you're on a keyboard, you're using one finger to do the movement, but when you're on here, you're using your whole hands do a movement because there's a joystick. It's not a D-pad, so the fine-grained movements are not natural to be on here. So, but honestly, just being able to play with like actual buttons, it's just so much nicer. Um, so, when am I going to add the Wapchan in the near future? Well, I'm thinking of bringing back the drawing board, the Okiaki, or what I call the doodle board. I think that was a board that a lot of people were a fan of. The only reason I moved it was because it was so dead for a while, and I didn't really think it should be brought back for a while. But I'm probably gonna bring that one back. I've actually started drawing myself recently. Again, uh, I got this pad. I got a what is it? I think it's an XP pad or something like that. It's one of those Wacom competitors. It's a fairly big one, and it's great because for one, I can actually play Osu and not do crap because I don't have a mouse before. So I'll be able to actually start getting Osu records, or not records, but at least just decent scores, not like B's and C's. But for a second, I can actually draw. So um, I'll be working on that more in the near future. Um, I don't know if any artists out here, but I'm a big believer in drawing your own crap. Rap channel as well, it will continue to be a site that does not allow AI content because I'm a big believer in Dojin culture, and AI is kind of like the antithesis of that. It's basically just recycling other people's crap. I don't believe in that. I believe if you're gonna make your own stuff, you're gonna make fan content. It should actually be fan content and not regurgitated stuff from the big tech. So. And I get it, there's open source models, I know. I get that there's actual uses for it. But the problem is, most of what it's used for is by grifters. That's just the truth of it, it's AI swap. I mean, if you're running a site like this, you gotta understand who your target audience is. If you believe in Dojin culture, you gotta believe that you want like for example, like what if Zun, made all of his art in AI? It would just look generic. It wouldn't look iconic, I get that some people say his art sucks, but it's like UHC07, I mean, the original Higurashi sprites and the original Mako sprites, they don't look like, extremely polished anime art from the year 2002, they look like some guy who wanted to draw kind of okayly for making his game, and but those sprites are so iconic because they were his own work. They were unique. They were his influences and his styles. They weren't just he didn't plug in some words and tell it, oh, do this or implement this style. He worked on it on his own, and I believe that sites like Wapchan should be used for these kind of purposes. So no AI now and forever. I know, yeah. I mean, occasionally I use AI for doing minor things, but they're mostly related to either coding or writing rejects some functions. Now, some people are good at regular expressions. I'm not. They're just too obtuse for me. So their AI is good for that, and it helps that when you're writing code occasionally, if you want to find a solution and not have to look at Stack Overflow, that's good. But then they got the crap where it's like Google puts the stuff first on search results, so you get people in your life who are like, oh man, this, and this, and I'm like, this is not true. They're like, oh, Google said so. I'm like, no, it's a Google AI crap that they shoved down your throat. It sucks because one of those things where there's legitimate purposes for it. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Okay, you can hear me now. Sorry, I'm having to run this off my wireless headphones because I can't find my actual nice microphone right now. Ever since I came home when I finished college, it's like stuck somewhere in my storage. I just haven't found it yet. So, because I have an AT 2035, like an actual nice condenser mic. So, let me know if you can hear me in the chat, by the way, because I switched my screen back. But anyways, hold on, let me type. Um, Oh, good. Sweet. Okay. So, yeah, sure. Awesome. So, what was I talking about? I forgot how you play this one. This one where you switch back and forth, right? Oh yeah, right. This one I switch back and forth. Yeah. So, anyways, what was I saying? So with the AT 2035. So, I have like I have one of those pop filters or whatever. So usually my voice would sound much more crispy. Right now, it sounds like I'm on a basically a phone call, which is it works. Because I recently got Sony XM4s. Because actually, I don't think I've had a wireless headphones before. Well, I mean, I had earbuds, but actual headphones I haven't had. I had monitors, DT770s, which I love those things, but those things great audio quality. They just weren't that convenient, unfortunately, which is what happens with monitors. You know, I don't know if you know, but these Sony ones are really nice, and they fold up, which is cool when I'm actually going places. Um, so awesome. I didn't fix controls here, so I'm just hitting the bombs. But okay. So what am I saying? Um, Basically, in the future of Wapchan for 2025, I'm probably gonna run a poll to see which the boards, what are we keeping, what are we getting rid of, what are we consolidating, because uh oh yeah, nice headphones are really are quality life improvements. I wish these were comfortable as the DT770s because my DT770s were unmatched in terms of comfort, and they were like only like $130, which they were on sale, and that's like quite good. These things are like 200, which I can stomach for something that's going to last me quite a few years. Uh, I mean, obviously, I have speakers, but they're like Logitech speakers that I got at like the thrift store. They work, but I'm probably eventually going to fix my hi-fi setup. Um, Actually, they're on Craigslist. I got this back in January. I got an old Technics turntable, which I have some records, mostly older Japanese artists and a few other things I've gotten. But I had like a much older, much crappier turntable for the longest time, which I didn't use that much. So someone was giving this away, and the only thing is it had no cartridge, so I just bought a cartridge off eBay for like $30, and now I got this nice turntable. And now, of course, I can run it, but it doesn't sound quite right because for one, I had to, for some reason, some of these old players, they don't have, the plugs aren't grounded. They have like a separate ground jack you have to use, and luckily, you can actually just crimp the edges off an RCA cable and build your own, which is nice. But um, I need a preamp still, a final preamp to actually make it sound correct. And I thinking, oh, I could just run it through my interface, but no. The thing is, when you're trying to amplify records, it's not the same as amplifying like instruments. It won't sound correct, basically. It will sound overblown, I think. So I need to buy one of those. Luckily, I think they're also pretty cheap. You can get like a cheap two-tube one on eBay for like $40 or something. So I need to do that soon. But what am I talking about? Oh man, what's going on? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty enough. But uh, I think we're gonna be doing more community events now. That basically now that I defeated the CSAM menace, I think a lot more. I want to do more OC events, and I know it sucks because I have this whole OC board that's been dead, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of sucks. More site promotion. I'm planning to start doing YouTube videos very soon, using somewhat of a similar setup to this sometimes. I also actually, I want to show an alternative setup. I want to see if it works. Actually, hold on, give me a second. If this works, it'll look really cool. Um, Give me a second. Just bridge this other cable and I get this battery inside. Uh, where is it? Oh, so the stream's gonna be boring for a second, but basically, the big thing about these old games is, they're meant to be played in a CRT, and, a lot of that is, well, you can't really capture that if you're just playing it on, HD TV or an HD video, basically, which is what I am doing right now. And, I think, sometimes you really need the extra resolution, the extra overhead if you are doing stuff that needs. Oh, I found my DIY stuff. That's cool. Oh, on Blue Sky. You actually use Blue Sky. I actually see my crap on Blue Sky. Thank you. I didn't. I was never a big Twitter person or Blue Sky person for the longest time, mostly because, you know, I don't want to just say stuff for the sake of saying stuff, And I do that sometimes now. Okay, video's not cut out, by the way, because I'm switching the audio, video actually. Uh, let's see if this works. If this works, it'll look really cool. Uh, I think last time I tried this, the colors are wrong. Shoot, I need to put the battery back in. Hold on. Uh, people uh, hearing about what actually? Hearing more about? Oh, they mean hearing about my tech stuff? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of tech videos relatively soon. I have a lot of old computers with old games and just cool stuff. Okay, let's see if this works. Come on, here we go. Okay, the colors are probably entirely wrong. I need to fix that. For some reason, my capture card does not do this justice. But if I can just to focus, uh, yeah. Now I need just a shutter rate too. Um, but this is what just so you know, when I capture video from this camera, it doesn't look like this crappy version. Doesn't look well. It actually looks good because the colors aren't entirely broken on my end. But if I had the record button, you can see it looks decent. This camera can't do the fancy stuff when you walk into the screen's frame rate, so I had to do the best I could. But you know, it doesn't look bad. I mean, okay, it does look bad actually. But the colors is kind of, I don't know why the colors are yellow. I don't know why. It's weird, but I could probably apply a filter and fix that. But yeah, I'm actually running a dual monitor setup. So if I look on here, here's a really cool thing I can do actually, which I've done this before on Linux, but I haven't done it on Windows before, which is you can actually set a custom screen resolution to 640 by 240. Which, oh shoot, this works sometimes, doesn't work all the time. Because I think it's also out of range. But I had this working a second ago. Shoot. Okay, okay. Wait, hold on. I need to go back and fix this. It's a very on hands kind of stream, you could say. Because now this thing is stuck in a broken mode that I can't fix. But luckily I can should be able to get back to my auto display. Hold on, hold on. Uh, yeah, I might have to restart actually. I can do that. That's okay. Yes, I have a hand. All right. All right. So, by the way, as you can see, there's a microphone in this thing, but I'm not using it right now. Um. Oh yeah, I'm a big believer in tech stuff and DIY stuff and all that. Oh shoot, this thing isn't even on. Now, I didn't talk about this stuff for a long time, mostly because I think there's a little bit different things to do. I know a lot of people do old tech stuff on YouTube and elsewhere, I don't know, they do it in a almost, I don't want to say generic, but it's like samey kind of way. I want to inject more of the old anime stuff into there. That will make it interesting, I think. Like if I'm talking about old tech, but then I show like old VNs and stuff, I'm sure. Obviously, I can't do the crazy stuff. I don't have a PC 98 because I don't want to pay like $300 to import one from Japan because they're giant metal tanks, and I've never been to Japan myself, so I can't. I don't have the means to go there at the moment. So I'd love to get one day because I really would love to play old PC 98 games. But the nice thing about this computer is actually um, you can run what is it? I'm gonna do this video on my right. I swear to God. Here we go. Advanced settings. Um, Basically, what this does is you can manually configure VGA timings. If you're not familiar with that, basically, you can usually there's something called I think like the EDID or something in the VGA spec where the computer tells the monitor what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And then this program allows you to, basically say, screw that, I want to do whatever I feel like. And let's see if this works this time. Fingers crossed, people. Shoot, I don't remember if this is in spec or not. Give me a second. Display properties. I think that's how you do it. That's one of the ways to do it. Well, I need to drink water. I'm talking a lot. Ugh. When you talk so much, you gotta take a sip. All right, don't die on me, man, please. Damn it. Yeah, I need to fix this because it's running at a too high frame rate, I think. So I'm gonna go and fix this quickly. Um, but anyways, I want to do it's one thing to do a review or a playthrough of an old VM, just running it on your Windows 10, Windows 11 computer, running in HD and everything's one up. That's one thing. But to run it like on something like this, because I'm very lucky to have one of these monitors. I didn't pay anything for this. This was using my aunt's monitor. It's a beautiful Trinitron, so I'm very lucky to have one of these. But let's be able to film this kind of more authentic experience. Because the nice thing is even though it's running on a computer that's maybe 15 years newer than the monitor, it still looks like any other VGA signal running Windows XP. You can't tell. And the game runs the correct speed. It doesn't run 50 million times faster because it's still Windows XP on a Windows XP compatible system running with the correct drivers. I think that'll make a difference. I think people like that. I think there's a lot to offer in that space that there hasn't been right now. How do I do this correctly? Here we go. Okay, so I was running it at a too high frame rate. So let's see if I can do this correctly. It should be at, I think it's 119. Is that what it is? Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. This is what it's supposed to look like. So they might think, wow, this looks ultra crappy. But the really cool thing is it's basically running. Oh, you'd be interested. Well, thank you for being interested. Well, I think there is an actual crowd out there for this. A lot of the retro community people out there, they're kind of boring. I think they're not doing a whole lot of new stuff out there. Not that they're bad. They're very good at what they do. I don't have all the equipment they do, but it's just cool to inject it with more of that retro anime flair, retro Japanese stuff. I love old Japanese stuff. That's nothing new from me if you've seen my site I run, surprisingly enough. But also it's really hard to navigate Windows in this resolution. It's extremely difficult. It's a lot of fun, but I'm gonna increase it back and then go back down later because I want to show that you can actually run the VLC in this, and it looks like you get like it's true scanline mode. It's incredible. So if I run it and I run let's say I happen to playing the first episode of Ursiats around here. So obviously full screen it looks nice. I mean if I actually run it in full screen video, so you can see yeah it's running in 640/40. It looks like what it looks like on a DVD basically. But if you run it in this weird mode, which if I can stop this on full screen, if I get down to this crazy mode again, where is it? Um, Shoot. Yeah. It's very funny when you're running these crazy old programs that no one's worked on for like 20 years. Super, super cool. I don't even remember this correctly. Here we go. So if I go back down to 640 by 240 at 119, I had to reopen this actually because when you mess up your resolution, it also messes up how that thing looks. Doesn't look right anymore. Let me go to my the place where you put your stuff in when you want to run it. Hold on. It's always weird trying to remember the Windows XP layout when you haven't used it for like when you haven't used it regularly for like 10 or 11 years. Because the last time I ran Windows XP full time was probably 2009, actually. I never had Vista. I went straight to 7. So, but since then, I've really only run it very infrequently. Um, here we go. Here it is. So I move this back to the foreground, and then if I change it back to this 640. It's not if you by the way, you can't set it this well basically because the monitor won't even accept it. Because remember, this is a 30 hertz, 30 kilohertz monitor. It's not a 15 kilohertz monitor, so it's VGA spec. So you got to run it basically at double frame rate but half resolution. And if I do that, now check this out. If I run it like this, um, and I actually load up a video, you're going to see it, resolution doesn't look quite right yet, but hold on. What you actually have to do is, crazy enough, if we go to video and I change the aspect ratio to like a really wide aspect ratio, it actually works fine, almost fine basically. And then you can just watch your anime with like actual scan lines. Those are real scan lines. I mean that's a cool effect right there. And you can run this with basically any game on here. So if you ever want that old interlaced look, there you go. Of course, it might not look quite right because it's a little too narrow still. But luckily on this one, you can actually stretch it out. I can literally just do this. Boom, perfect. Just like you're watching it on old TV. So really cool stuff. Um, yeah, it's actually a lot easier to do this on Linux. On Windows, it's a total hack. On Linux, you can actually, in fact, on Linux it's better because you can do this. There's a thing in X called scaling. And with that, you can actually make it so even though the monitor is running at 640 by 240, it basically emulates 640 by 480. So basically, it's a lot easier to interact. The problem is the reason all these programs are acting weird is because I'm basically running a really narrow resolution. Can you think about it? 640 by 240. That's a resolution that's basically a giant rectangle. So let me go back to normal people resolution. Here we go. So actually, now that I'm here, I can actually run Higurashi correctly because it's not running on this crappy. It's running on this monitor. The original versions of Higurashi they don't work well with anything super high resolution. They're all unscripted games. But I wanted to play the original version, the version from Comic Cat 62, I think, or whatever. Because Reina's theme is actually different than that. So, or maybe 26. I don't know. I don't know the numbers correctly. But yeah, this works. Works completely fine. This looks just like how it looked, back in 2002 on some Japanese guy's PC that he just got. You can play his great game where you talk to random children. Just kidding. These games are great. Look at that. It's got all the music too. So if you ever want to get the authentic experience, as they say, there you go. And by the way, I can't read Japanese. I'm going to use the old fan translations. I just wanted to try this out. So that's cool. But I have a lot of other computers here. Might be. Let me see if I can tilt the camera a little bit. You can see there's like a Macintosh here. There's like a 46. There's an Apple II GS up here somewhere. I'm not like a hoarder, but I do have quite a few um, that I can do stuff with. But this one is going to be the main workhorse, just because it is Windows XP. Macintosh was never a big Dojin platform, as we all know, because those things cost an arm and a leg back then, and they still cost. Actually, they don't. They don't. They don't. They're still expensive for some of them, but like I got the new M4 Mac Mini recently for like I think it was like $500, and that thing it's just so nice. I love Linux. I was an Arch kid for a while, then I became a Fedora person, but it's just so nice to have cheap computer that's actually really powerful and it doesn't use like a gazillion watts of electricity because this thing only uses like 50 watts or something at most, which is pretty crazy. My old PC with a i7 5700 and a GTX 1080, I think it used like 200 watts, and that was like I used like 250 at full load. It was a heavy system. That's not even a heavy computer really, but it wasn't efficient. I think I'm not a crazy efficiency person, but for example, my home server it runs I think it's a J5040. It's some Pentium Silver class computer. And yeah, the performance isn't great, but it also uses like 10 watts max, which is if you're like me and you're running 6 hard disks, which actually, is there a way I can do I don't know if you can do SSH. You probably can. No, you can. I need putty on here. But if I could SSH to my home server, you'd see I literally run like I think it's 8 spinning disks and 2 SSDs because I got them for really cheap. And it's like 20 terabytes with parity, 20 terabytes of parity, which great if you're like me and you gotta maintain ratio on a bunch of trackers. Great system for that. But the thing is, the spinning disk uses most electricity. A computer that basically just runs a bunch of Linux containers doesn't need to be super powerful. But it also means I can actually run x86 software. I don't have to limit it to ARM software because x86 ARM on Linux it's got a lot better, but it's still not. They don't have Proxmox basically, and I'm sure there's other solutions, but Proxmox I'm just so used to it. I'm so used to running Linux containers. Oh, here's something cool you could do. Let me show you some other games. Great thing is this computer is actually pretty good for playing PC98 games. It's not totally authentic, obviously, because it's Windows, it's running on an IBM compatible, PC98, the whole thing is that it wasn't IBM compatible. But if I go to, by the way, if you ever on, yeah, and you see this Toho 98 experience, great stuff. But I can run it, and if I run it full screen, you can see it actually it cuts off the top and bottom because PC98s were 640 by 400. They weren't 640 by 480. Now, for everything I've read, they still displayed in the same ratio so that you basically it's not stretched. It's still actually let me put joy to key back on because I want to play this with the joystick. And by the way, when you quit, it does this for some reason, which is annoying. But what am I saying? So it actually runs it in the correct aspect ratio. And so you basically get pretty much an authentic PC98 experience with the added bonus that you don't need to learn how to type in Japanese to use the thing, which is super cool because I cannot type in Japanese because I did not know Japanese. Yes, I read the DJT threads. We're getting there someday, but not quite yet. Um, where is Joy 2 Key? I had to track on the old version because this doesn't run. It's funny because there's a lot of software that doesn't run on Windows XP, surprisingly. Not, I guess, unsurprisingly, but the software you think. Like, I got this MIDI synthesizer because if you ever want to run MIDI games with different sound fonts, like if I wanted to run Toho games with different MIDI sound fonts, you can't do that natively with Windows. You got to get a software synthesizer, and the, most of them don't run on Windows XP anymore. It's just like, really? Because, like, who's using MIDI on like Windows 7 and Windows 10? I guess people still are, but for me, that's not something people regularly do that much. I mean, obviously, if you're running a USB, if you're running a DAW or something, you actually need MIDI. If you're running like MuseScore, you're trying to make music, trying to do sheet music, that you need a DAW. But I don't know. I just wanted to use funny sound fonts that sounded more like the Roland SC88 that Toho games are originally composed for, and not use the Windows MIDI like Windows General MIDI, which doesn't sound good. I'm sorry. It's goofy and it's kind of funny, but it's clearly not what it was intended to sound like, and it's not a solution. So make your own solutions. Here we go. Please work with me. And this runs basically as fast as you need it to, which is to say, okay, here we go. Can I move? Yes, I can. Let's go back to full screen. So, I like how this stream is about Wapchan. I'm basically talking about entirely different things. But hey, this is retro stuff. I consider this to be on topic. So, I've actually beaten this game before on easy. This game is really weird. It's super janky, but it's janky in that level. It's lovably janky, you could say. I mean, it's like all you get is Reimu. That's all you need. All you need is Reimu in life, honestly. It's really a metaphor for, society or something like that. But and no, actually no, the correct way to play this game was apparently supposed to spam bombs constantly or something. I looked at a guide for once, and it's like because the bosses, bombs don't do anything to them. It's weird. But I don't know. I kind of wish one day if I ever get really good at making stupid games, I want to make a demake of this for the VCS, the Atari 2600, because I'm like this kind of game though could be super cool. With Frame was actually I don't know if you ever used an Atari before, but they had these like paddle controllers because you could play Breakout and Super Breakout and you ever played Kaboom, that like the Activision, that's a good one. But anyways, this is the kind of game it's Breakout style. This would be great for it, because you can have analog movement. Now, obviously, it would be a total rewrite of the game, but because this game works okay as it is, but there's this Breakout style games you want analog control. You don't want digital control. I mean, this is the kind of thing you wouldn't really understand unless you've actually played Breakout on an arcade, which I have. But you can, or it's like if you ever played Pong at an arcade, and you've actually seen how fast you can move. This is a game that can really benefit from faster movement because you're constantly dodging things. And it's the kind of game where it's like you want to be able to dodge faster. So also, God bless whoever made English patches for those games because you can play them in Japanese and they're actually playable enough. Well, every Toho game is, but these old ones specifically. And I don't know if you ever if you ever seen Re C98. There's actually someone out there working on decompiles of these, which is a service to us all because I think everyone needs to play this janky mess at some point to understand. When I first played Toho, I was like, people say, "Oh, start with 6, oh, start with 7." No, I'm starting with 1 because that's how Zun started. That's how I should start. You shouldn't. I get that people saying, "Oh, it's non-canon." I don't know. Man. Like, I don't hate secondaries, but I didn't want to be a secondary. I want to understand these games from a gameplay perspective. That's what they are first and foremost. They're video games. You play them. You don't just draw the funny characters and try to interpret them. So yes, I am a primary chat, as we say. Um, and I did hit the button fast enough because yeah, you can whack the go hey around. Um, okay, so oh, you converted a secondary. I'm very proud of you. Yes, secondaries they need to see the light. And it's funny because I never played bullet hell games myself. I mean, I'm like I played Gradius. I've played Life Force and NES. That's a great one. There's actually one on Dreamcast I want to play. I have a Dreamcast. And I haven't played my games in there in a while, but there's a really good one apparently that's on Dreamcast. There's one on GameCube too. I forgot the name of it, but these are the games I grew up playing at all, really. So oh, it's almost. I mean, to be fair, starting with 6 is not the worst. I don't blame people for starting with 6. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think if you want to get the real, I understand completely the series, you gotta start because basically you see how the games evolve. These were games he made in college. They're very much they're janky, but like that's how we kind of love them, honestly. It is more work to get them. I will say it's a lot more work to get these games playing though. Like because on my regular computer I use DOSBox X for playing these games, and it works. But you got to edit the config, and you got to make sure it runs at the correct speed because it is a different platform, and you got to emulate the CPU at a certain speed. So when you're emulating the CPU, you gotta make sure it's fast enough because otherwise the games will run too slow, and you gotta make sure the MIDI is right. I mean, actually gotta make sure the FM sound is right, and if you want to use the MIDIs for Toho 2, you gotta make sure the MIDIs work too. And it's a whole involved thing. But I tell people to start with 1, but even if you start with 6, eventually you should go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because they're Toho games. Zud didn't start over at 1. The 6 is 6. It's not new 1. It's 6. And I still believe that these games have a lot to offer. Just because they're still fun. I mean, this game isn't a chore to play. I mean, you start off with something kind of strong. Obviously, this gameplay style is it wasn't the way to go ultimately. Now, if he ever did a new game like this, that'd be super cool, and maybe he can make it a lot better now with his experience. But um, it just
You know, I don't know. I've always believed that the less you can be secondary about something, the better. Like it's like for example, when I first started with Uruseiyatsuru, I only knew the anime, the old anime. I didn't read the manga for a few months after that. So in effect, I was somewhat of a secondary, and I prefer the anime to the manga. I still do. I think the new anime sucks. The anime reboot is actually quite a bit better, in my opinion. The Uruseiyatsuru one just kind of sucks, honestly. But I still believe it's a big. There's a whole thing where you gotta read the manga, even if you don't think it's as good as anime, you still gotta read it because you understand when like Oshi and Yamazaki and the people working on this series, when they made their changes, you gotta see where Rumiko was coming from, and you gotta feel like, okay, I understand both sides of this. I don't have to be confused when someone mentions a story that didn't happen in the anime because they need to do more stupid what is it? They did like 3 or 4 filler clip shows in a row, right before Beautiful Dreamer came out because they were so overworked that they didn't have time to make a real episode, so they made these clip shows, and they're really funny because they make no sense if you actually think about it. Like I always point to episode 103, the Rand clip show, which now I get it. It's obviously this is not a show you think about logically, but the literal plot of the episode is that Rand films her memories on Betamax and then mails them to herself to piss herself off, which is the most insane plot ever if you actually think about it for more than 2 seconds. Like, how did you even think of this? Like, who came along? It's like, yeah, let's make a story where the character needs to get mad, so the character films their memories and then watches them on Betamax. And you can tell it's Betamax because when they show the cassettes, they got the single spool visible. It ain't VHS, and these guys knew what they were doing. But it's like that show was not perfect. People always say that old Urusei. People, it's funny. There was this video that came out about Urusei recently. I called it a mess, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, the development was kind of a mess initially, but they got on their track very fast. I get it. Low anime. But I always say the original episodes, they filter people. I'm a big believer that you gotta stick it out until it gets good. If you don't stick with it, then what are you doing? It's like you got filtered. It's simple. I mean, I guess Alison got filtered by new anime because of this shit, but that's a different story. Okay, honestly, I don't believe it's all bad, but it's such a downgrade. It's embarrassing. It's like you got this. It's funny because Ranma had the opposite problem where the anime was kind of mixed and the reboot's actually really good. I think there's some issues, and I don't think the art style is as good. I don't think the music is nowhere near as good. But man, they tried. Nappa tried a lot harder than David Pro. I'll tell you that. David Pro, they really phoned it in on that one, and it's a shame because this series is beautiful, and you see the reboot, and it's like it's loud, it's annoying, which oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Let me change the music actually. I want to use the FM music. Here we go. And I gotta, I'm a pleb, so I gotta use Max Lives. I know. And I used the defensive one. The middle one, I'm not crazy. But anyways, what I was saying was that, some of these reboots are just really mixed. And you don't want to be secondary with things. You want to experience it as it was. And I get it, and I get that, it's funny because you could say, oh, you're secondary because you're reading it in an English translation, not reading Japanese. And I guess you're right. I trust the translators to not screw it up massively. From what it looks like, they haven't. But I don't want to read MTLs. That's not fun. They usually sound stilted as hell. They don't sound like I don't want to read that. Maybe I want to learn Japanese so I can read the original mangas. And okay, I just said mangas, so you can sue me. I didn't say manga. Occasionally I do slip up, but there's some manga I want to read that have never been translated in English. And it's funny because they've been translated to other languages. I know one interesting example is the Creamy Mami manga because the Creamy Mami, of course, as we all know, was an anime series first, but it actually did have a manga adaptation that ran for like 3 volumes, and It's never been published in English. It's been published in Italian and French because they love that stuff to death. But they never got in English, so I literally cannot read it. Oh yeah, secondary is like probably private stuff. I'm like, it's weird because like there's it's with Toho secondaries is funny because you get people who are like, oh man, I'm a, I try the games, I'm bad at them, but I still understand where they were coming from. And I get people who was like, oh well, I'm a true fan. I never even played the games. It's like you don't have to be a true fan, to play the games. I'm like, come on, man. You can find the games on Moya Shine and yeah for like for free, or you can pay for a burned disc for some reason. But it's like you can play them. It's not hard to play them. You can understand the characters. You don't have to rely on weird fanfics and stuff. You can just play the games. And by the way, Lost World sucks. I don't do gacha. I have standards. It sucks because Higurashi also got a gacha game, and the game has cool CGs. But then it's like, man, you gotta play a goddamn gacha and view them. Like, why is everything to be gacha crap? I don't know. I'm anti gacha. I believe that you shouldn't have to play games that are basically just glorified casinos. Oh yeah, this by the way, playing this game is funny because one of the characters that people are telling that should be in the VN that we're writing is a Rika. Rika, you can see Rika, the flower tank and the other tank. So Rika is one of those weird characters that just hasn't been in like any of the games for forever, and it's weird because I think she's like one of the only people who works on technology besides the Tengus. So that's something cool, if they ever figure that one out. But um, what else? I didn't know about the Higurashi. Oh yeah, Higurashi May it's called. I think. Obviously Higurashi is Go and so too those the modern animes that just decide let's have it be terrible. Let's have it suck ass for no reason. It's like I don't know. For some reason, people tend to screw up reboots a lot, and I guess that's not a surprise. But you can do reboots right. I think the Rama reboot's gonna turn out great, actually. I will say that it's giving people a lot of things where they say, "Oh man, the original anime was entirely crap," and I'm like, "That's not true. That's just not true." Yeah, the anime wasn't great, but you can't just say it was entirely crap. That's stupid. Whenever I hear someone mention Gacha, my brain turns off. Yeah, mine too. I'm not gonna play Dwarf Archive. I'm not gonna play, Final, the what is it? The Fire Emblem. I forgot the name of it even. That's how little I care about the gachas. Like, I know it's Fire Emblem one, but it's like I do not want to roll for like 5-star girls. That's so stupid. I could be playing countless VNs that have great girls already in them. That I just need to go to like the I need to go to the school roof like 5 times on a specific day to find them. I'd rather do that than play a goddamn casino. I don't know why people don't have more standards about this. Like, when did we get to the point where we can just play? It sucks because there's what's that gacha that's I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hold on, I'm trying to remember the name of this. It's the famous one. The one that's like Breath of the Wild or whatever. I don't remember the name, but it's a super famous one. And it sucks because I played it like a few times. I'm like, yeah, this is okay, but I don't want to roll for shit. I just the last games that I'm gonna be honest, the last games I played with gacha mechanics are Clash Royale and Clash of Clans. I played those a lot when I was younger. Um, oh yeah, Genshin. There we go. Yeah, Genshin. And Genshin's been getting it's okay, but I so wish it was not a gacha and you just paid $60. Like why is it gotta be a gacha? Yeah, we know why because they make way more money off it. But I don't know, man. It sucks to see people supporting it so heavily or just not caring basically. They're so indifferent to it. It's like when did it become cool to like pay massive companies like $20 to play a slot machine to maybe get some picture of a girl in your inventory? Where we go to society when you couldn't just say, oh man, yeah, I just played I don't know, man, I played this VN, and there's this girl and I had to had to go to the school gymmy and I had to I had to help with the theater club because I really care about this stuff. That to me that's more care than just rolling a casino. You actually earn the thing. If you went out there and you did all the side quests, and you made sure that you were at the right place at the right time so you could talk to this person that you've talked to like 3 times before. Some of my palace they got just like interesting designs and gameplay. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I just wish there wasn't a casino part attached to it. That's the thing. Like they got these ideas that are good, but then they gotta put the damn casino on it, and it's like, man, it sucks. Here's an entirely different topic. I watch a good amount of college football. Because I went to a D1 school, so I still follow, I keep up with this stuff. But it's like they pushing gambling so heavily with sports now, especially college sports, and to me it's sickening. It's like why they gotta push this so heavily? Why can't we just enjoy the game for what it is? Why we gotta make it so every 5 seconds people are thinking about, oh man, I gotta make sure this guy gets this pass, or I'm gonna lose my bet or whatever. It's like people care more about the players than they do about the actual game. It's ridiculous. So, by the way, for anyone wondering, Wapchan will never have ads because I have standards and the server costs like $30 to run a year. There's no reason why I'd ever. Oh, this game is weird. I played this game a few times. This game is super weird. Dim Dream, yeah. It's the one where you like fight people. Um, anyways, I am anti-gacha. Anti-gacha is the correct opinion. So, you like gacha, you're not gonna find a place in Wapchan to talk about it. Oh, I remember this game. It's the one where you have to mash the button. Here we go. I need to set up like an auto fire for this because I remember I beat this game the first time I beat it. It was super late at night one time, and my fingers were so tired that I kept having to hit the stupid like X button or whatever, X key on the keyboard. This game is crazy because obviously the thing is you got the charge mechanic, but 90% of the time you don't want to use that. You want to just fire, and you gotta slam the button, and it kills your hand. So that's the nice thing about having making a. Oh, actually, no. Here's something cool. I can actually show you my joystick. It looks super jank, which is awesome, but here it is. I built it. It's funny. I had access to a 3D printer, so I just kind of cut it up so you can see. But it's got 8 buttons. It's got a joystick, and it's got player buttons. But it's made out of. I wanted to make a main arcade years ago. I never got around to it because it was a hassle to do. But I had all these half parts, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I could have just bought a fight stick, but something to be said about making your own jank stick out of genuine arcade parts. Anyways, gotcha sucks. Play more real games. That's my surprisingly hot take apparently because people settle for the worst. They don't settle for the best. It's like people use 9 anime instead of streaming. I said torrenting. I get it. If you're in a public place, you want to watch something, you don't got the infrastructure, sure. But like, get people going on like image boards, posting screen caps from 9 anime. It's like, what are you doing, man? Just torrent. Please torrent like a civilized person, like your forefathers did. You know, running a C box is unless you're European, I guess. But running a C box is relatively easy. You just get like a Raspberry Pi, you hook the thing up, you hook up like a hard drive to it, and there you're good. Like you solve the problem. You know, I don't know. I think, and obviously I have my gripes about technology stuff too. I used to I did an internship at Amazon, which it pays super well, but goddamn, do I not want to work there again? It's like, yeah, I mean you make a lot of money, but you're also destroying the world in the process. So you got to pick your morality battles with that one. And I believe that people should be using their tech powers to do good and to promote cool stuff and not to make shitty stuff. Surprising take, I know. But I guess that just comes from having a chilled out personality like mine. Um, and whack chance for all those kind of people. People who believe that, people always say, oh, the internet's dead internet theory, the internet's, it sucks. And I'm like, yeah, the internet sucks in a lot of ways, but you can still run your own web page. You can just get a VPS or just have a computer and just forward the ports. You can build a better internet. People just they choose not to a lot of times. I get not everyone can do it, but like you can even go in like Neo cities and stuff and build stuff. You can build a better internet. You don't have to settle for the crappy corporate internet we have right now. you can just not use it. Wapchan is, in many ways, it's a reaction to the internet as it is, to having a better place to discuss anime and manga and old games. And Webstream is not meant to be, the board, the one and only board. I'm a heavy believer in that, in the decentralized internet as it was designed. I run my board, but other people run their own boards, and I link to them. I link to boards that I like, and I don't link to boards I don't like. This is why I'm not part of the web ring, because the web ring is, oh man, shit, I gotta fight myself. Here we go. But the web ring, for anyone who doesn't know, the old one run by Anon Cafe and that stuff, it's it's just it's full of a bunch of boards that I just do not want to have anything to do with. Mostly political boards that are extremist, and fetish boards that are not extremist but might as well be. Look, I get it. People are allowed to run their sites. I just don't want to have anything to do with my site with that. When you are on the same place that has these boards, you're implicitly saying, okay, this is what I want my users to use. This is what I think my users should be using. This is why I do manual site friends. And at some point, I think it would make sense for us to build a different kind of web ring using the same kind of plugin, but full of sites that were they're actually good sites, good sites full of people with the same standards. Standards as in we don't want them to be massive amounts of political boards or hentai boards or any of that stuff. We just want places that run on the principles of word show. We just want to have a good time. We don't want to promote you or radicalize you. We just want to chill. It's funny because I guess with all chans it makes sense that you get the people that are too edgy for 4chan, and I've run into way too many of those, and it's just embarrassing a lot of times. You know, it's like, yeah, I got problems with 4chan, but it's not because they're not extreme enough. It's because the Jannies do a crappy job. That's why. you know, like it's simple. Hero does not care about running a good site. He cares about making all of his money from all of those 4chan passes he sells, and now also the verification stuff. Oh, thank you for agreeing with everything I say. Um, I mean, I'm just talking from the heart here. 4chan is no, Wapchan is a genuine site. As in, if anyone knows, I've asked for $0.00 from the user base so far, and I'm probably going to keep asking for $0.00. Now, when I run my own videos, I might ask for Patreon so I can, buy stuff to help me with the videos. But that's not. Wapchan will always be a free site and it'll be a public site. Because the thing is, as you know, Wapchan has a Discord, and a Discord is basically just a tiny place for people to view. But the problem is, Discord is basically building an alternative closed-off internet, and it sucks. It just sucks conceptually and in actuality to have to live in a world where we're all Discord servers are It's funny because even Discord's documentation doesn't call them servers because they're not servers. You don't own them. You don't have control over them. All you're just posting on their web. You post on their version of the web, and if they want to get rid of you, they can do that. Now I don't know if people's like, oh my Discord's deplatforming me, but I will say that you can't post, you can't browse anonymously, you can't post anonymously. You gotta sign up and you gotta use their program because they don't want you to use other people's programs. You gotta use their crappy Electron client, which runs like shit on my computer because, fun fact, my computer should not be running web browsers to just do chat. I can't use a nice I can't use like a console client on my terminal. No, I gotta use their Electron crap. And I get it. I have to use Discord. We all have to use Discord. And I get it for WebChat even. I want to do IRC only, but I get it. People use Discord. It's easy to use. It's simple. But it's weird because it sucks when you can see modern retro anime communities work mostly or exclusively on Discord. And then you get people who run private Discords for their Patreon members, which I don't know. That's stupid. I think there's never gonna be a point where you have to pay money to talk to me. That seems ridiculous. Like even if it's cheap, it's like come on, man. Oh yeah, seeing so many old forums die a slow and painful death just to move the shit to Discord. It sucks, man. It sucks so much, and it's a shame. We could build a better internet, but instead we built an internet that has it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's a little more overhead at the beginning, but the benefits are so much higher. People just want to do what's easy. People want to do what takes 2 seconds. And to be honest, we could have built internet that made it easier while also making it more open. But there's no profit incentive in that, obviously. Discord's not going to make a bunch of money by telling you, oh, rent a VPS like TeamSpeak. No, they want you to pay $10 to use Nitro so you can put up a banner on your profile because that's big money for some reason. So eventually, I hope that Wapchan's Discord is entirely cut out. And the thing is, I haven't done it yet, mostly because I want to build an on-site. And I will say that for my personal use and for my personal Figment channel, I'll probably still use Discord. It will be open Discord, but it will not be the main place where I post stuff. That is, it. Discord to me should be. It's a chat service. It's not a forum replacement. And I don't know people are treating it like a forum replacement. That's stupid. It's a chat stuff. You use it like IRC. You send stuff. You send messages. It's really terrible to use for anything more than that, and people do. And it's like people try to make it so much more than it actually is. You know, I get the Discord as threads now, but all they are just posts. They're just little chat rooms. That's all they are. And you know, it just sucks seeing the old. And I get but the thing is, it sucks because in some ways we're forced to use that, but we're also not in a sense. And I understand there's also a thing where people don't want to use Matrix because Matrix, you got to download the whole thing. But like for forums, there's no reason why a forum style site should not be on a public web server where anyone can access it, unless you want to run a private image for it. Which in that case, yeah, sure, you can make it private, but there's no reason why you have to make forums that are just worse. Worse. Okay, how do you even do this? I don't even remember how you do it. Oh shoot, I hit the wrong button. Give me a second. I didn't get figure the buttons for this one yet, so I gotta figure it out. But and that's part of the reason why I want to do more spreading the word on Blue Sky and Twitter more. I'm never gonna call it X. Elon Musk can die for all I care. But basically, I think that there's a lot of potential here. People would use a service like Wapchan, a site like Wapchan, if they knew. I love this. Game is over. Thank you, Toho. Thank you, son. Very cool. But you know, there's so much potential here, and I'd love to see people start making more image boards. Good image boards, please. Not more pull spin-offs that just talk about how we hate everyone. Please don't do that. That's stupid. People don't want that. People want to make image boards about, oh man, I just like what if we had one dedicated to, old cartoons, maybe we could have one dedicated to, alternative music, because Moo is Mew. Not it's okay. It's not a great board. It's just not my thing. No, I actually I'm on Orpheus, the music tracker, so I've been listening to some stuff. But you could just how is 4chan? It's so aggressive, and I get it. Image boards have this culture of like, oh, you can say anything. That's why we use them because you can say anything. Personally, I think the strength of image boards lies in the fact that they are almost purely based on the quality of the content and not who's posting it. You go to goddamn Reddit and you get 50 million upvotes on your post, but if someone doesn't like you, they just downvote you and you die. That sucks. That's not the way I think a site should function. I like saying that if a topic is interesting, it should stay relevant, no matter if it's good or bad. Apparently this is rocket science to a bunch of redditors, but then again, redditors are the ones that have their whole site controlled by 5 mods, so they can do whatever they want. And I get it. I run my server like I run my server like a dictatorship, but I run it well. I don't run it where I just shadow ban people because they said something I don't like. If you go on Wapchan, there are multiple posts people just straight up insult me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. As long as you don't say like something super racist or something that offends everyone for no reason, then I don't care what you say. Now, I will say, don't use Taurus, please. Please be nice. Mostly because I want the site to be comfy, not a site where you can go and feel bad about yourself. It should be a site where you go to relax, a site where you go to enjoy yourself, not a site where you go to tell people to kill themselves every 5 seconds. You can leave 4chan for that one, but I don't know. I feel like these are very obvious opinions, but at the same time, they're opinions that people just because you don't usually have these. Maybe it's just something that people don't talk about very often, but it's like this middle ground where you get people who enjoy the style of image boards, but don't enjoy the 4chan culture. They enjoyed image boards for the format, not for insulting people and calling them slurs. I think Wapchan is one of the boards trying to fix that. They're just not. There's not a lot of those boards that exist, and Wapchan is probably. I hope Wapchan is not the first, and it won't be the last, but I hope it's the most successful. And now, I don't talk to every board. I know. Okay, this game is running way too slow, I think, but whatever. I don't actually remember. Yeah, it's really slow. Shoot, I think I need to fix. Is it running too slow, or am I just? I haven't played it in a while. Yeah, I actually don't remember if it's running too slow or not because I haven't played this one in quite a while. Yeah, this is not the correct speed. Hold on. But what I was saying was that here we go. Like 56, I think. Okay, maybe this game is just slow. I don't remember honestly. But I'm saying is you get there's people who can run good sites, and I get it. It's not the easiest thing to run a site like Wapchan. I ran my own server for many years, like a home server. So I learned Linux. I cut my teeth on that. But anyone can buy a relatively cheap VPS. I use a Nerd VM, and you can learn it. Or you could just spin up a VM on Linux and learn that. You can learn Debian. You can make a better internet. You just have to put in some hard work. Not even hard work, just some elbow grease. I mean, the same way people fix cars, fix anything. Why should you use a cut and dry solution that sucks when you know you can make your own that's a little bit better if you just put some time into it? And I get it, people are busy, they got jobs, but you, it should. This is not an extremely hard thing to do. I think. I don't think it's extremely hard to build a website like Wapchan because I'm using. Remember, I didn't even build my own interface. I didn't build VChan. What I did was I made some CSS because I'm a big believer in CSS. Good looking CSS is a lot of style to a site. So I know people. Okay, this is running correctly, but you know I didn't know CSS that well when I started building Wapchan. That's why the Wapchan 1.0, as we say, had basically no style or no unique style. I basically had to experiment a lot when you build a site. In fact, that's why old Wapchan you often saw it just went up and down, up and down. It's because I'm trying stuff, and I just got hit twice. So damn it. I don't remember who this character is. I'm sorry. I haven't played this in a while, but what I'm saying is that you can build a better internet. Webchan is not that. I also think that there are people who want extreme anonymity, and I don't know if Webchan is the best site for that because, like for example, we don't currently hash IPs. We still view actual IPs, and we're probably not going to allow Tor posting. I don't know. See, it sucks because I love Tor, but the problem is people love to use Tor to spam shit. And people love to use Tor to put CP on the site, and I can't accept that. And it sucks. I get it. I use Tor, but maybe I'll find a solution. But from what I've seen, VChan does not have the same tools as LinksChan. That's the one thing it's not as well as. It doesn't have good built-in tools for Tor. So I might have to find a way to find all the endpoints and then mark them as okay. If I kick off this account, it only kicks off the session, doesn't kick off the entire IP because I respect Tor users. I also understand that people love to abuse that stuff, and it's a shame. But what I'm saying is that Wapchan is not one of those sites that's like ultra anonymous, ultra crazy. No one. Everyone posts anything because like for example, I use a screen name usually when I post officially on the site because it's the same way when people had BBSs back in the day or they had forums. The admin was still a person that didn't. They weren't some entity that just said, "Oh, anon hashmark admin." They're still a person. They're a person on the other end of the screen. They exist. You interact with them because It's like when you work you know it's like if you're doing club activities and Himanazawa and you want to know who's winning the club activity. Oh, it's Mion Sonozaki, same kind of thing. But instead it's me winning a website. That's a great analogy I just came up with in 2 seconds. But something smells weak. It's you, pink-haired girl. Let's get you. But what I'm saying is that, I believe that now obviously you can post anon, and for kind they always post anon, and that's simply because that's kind culture. In fact, one day kind will probably go out on their own, and when they're ready for that, I will support them. I'm a believer in kind, um, because the old admin of kind was, I mean, I don't know if we were good friends, but we sent a few emails to each other, and I believed in that site. That's why Wapchan hosts kind. And I believe that kind is in a better place now because it's not being run on a place like 8chan where it's full of, extremist content. I don't know. I feel like the middle grounds like mine, they don't seem to be common opinions from what I've seen on the internet. They're not mainstream opinions, and I feel like they kind of should be honestly, because they're almost like the reasonable opinions from someone who's thought about this for more than 2 seconds. Like people say, oh, 4chan is all bad, and I'm like, it's not, but you know, it's not really good either. It's a flawed site, and I want to build. I don't want to build another 4chan. I want to build a different site. I know when Webcam was starting out, we used to associate with a site called Hayuri, and I don't associate them anymore because I don't like what's on their site. It's that simple, really. I don't like it. It's not what Webcam stands for at all, really, and I don't like our other friend sites. That's why I removed them. I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but they're not coming back. I don't want to put them back. It's that simple, really. When you run a forum that's full of massive amounts of sorters, and but you want to say, oh, it's like old B, guys, like old B. I'm like, old B was not good, you know. Why do you idealize like the crappy parts of the internet? Yeah, it was kind of cool in a sense, but like it was also just really negative, and I don't know. It's not comfy, you know. I mean, I go on there now, and they got a thread, they got a board that's basically just softcore porn now. Like really? Like what are you guys doing? Like I get it, yeah, 4chan also has those boards. Yeah, it's 4chan culture, but like I don't know, make cool boards. Don't make that kind of stuff. And it's just the sites that I associate with are sites I feel display the reasonable values of let's make a site that's not just porn and not just extremist stuff and make it actually kind of cool. And you go there for a reason. You go there because you want to talk about old anime. I want to talk about Vocaloid. I want to talk about computers. You go there for a reason. You don't go there just to make shitty 2006 memes that are just hate speech. And I get it. Oh man, I'm weak. I don't like people saying words. Like maybe. Oh yeah. The thing is like, it was novel, yeah, but it's like you go to a site and it's in some ways it's worse actually than what it was back then. And also there is not too long ago there was a thread that had a dead kid on there with some swear and was never removed, never banned. They kept it up there. Like I'm not dealing with that. That's not what I want. Okay, that's messed up and that's gross. Okay, like and it's a shame because I feel like this site had a good concept, but then like I know Rule 8, I think it's kind of stupid honestly. The one where it's like, oh, you can't use any new words because if you actually go on there and you look at the Q board, they're just it's almost like it's almost like you're in like Soviet Russia. You have people reporting them for being like not true communist or something like it's like, oh, he used like he said like Riz, and that's not an old 4chan word. We gotta ban that guy. It's literally that kind of crap over and over again, and it's like it's just so embarrassing because like these people are just tryhards. They want to be old B, but they're never going to be old B, and they shouldn't be. They should be better. This is not. Is this like? This should not be something to be confused about. Like, but um, and it sucks because I don't know. I wish they're better, but I can't support something like that in good conscience. I just can't. So I know they are our first friends, and they will always be. They will still always be that, but they will not be on our friends list in any capacity. Yeah, yeah, they're tryhards, and it's a shame because they feel like tryhards, you know. I hope Wapchan never feels like a tryhard site. That's the thing I fear the most, honestly. Because a tryhard site, it's a site that people. Yeah, I know I didn't use any bombs. I'm just kind of dicking around these games, but it's just a shame because I don't know. It's not a lot of good image boards out there. There's some. I found some of them, and there's probably more out there that I haven't found yet. But a lot of them, they either don't have any care about what they host, or they just host uncomfy stuff, like Sleepy Chan. I sure Sleepy Chan is like a cool board or two, but then they got a fascist board. I'm not putting that on my site. It's that simple, you know. Like just I don't know. You know, I wish there were more sites that had a more strict rules in the sense that there's content that you can put and there's content that you can't put, and it should be that simple, but it's not. You know, everyone just latch on to it's anon. You can say anything you want, and it's funny because for one, 4chan you cannot say anything you want. I think that's extremely obvious for anyone who's actually been there for more than 2 seconds. Of course, now you got people on Twitter talking about they know the site, which they don't. They never worked. They don't know anything. Um, you know, if you actually went on this site, you'd realize, yeah, it's actually surprisingly not an anon and not a good place to actually talk about certain topics because you know you won't get it off the ground. So that's my 4chan rant. Of course, I still recruit people from there sometimes because it's a good site that way. I kind of love this game even though I'm bad at it. This one specifically, I'll charge up that camera. But yeah, Wapchan. I hope Wapchan becomes the best image board that you could really be for the modern day. You know, in fact, one day in the maybe not far future, but quite a bit from now, I hope to roll my own software. Now it's difficult because rolling your own software means you gotta put in protection on some stuff like CSAM, which is tough. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to remember, I struggled for multiple years on the Wapchan to build a site that could defend against this stuff. It's really tough because those bots, those Russian spammers, they're relentless. They do not care. They'll post whenever, whatever, and they'll post the same shitty links to disgusting content, and it's a shame. So it's hard to roll your own image board, and I get that's why people don't do it. I don't think it's some massive psyop. I think it's just Russian spammers that just want to make a quick buck. People love to give their conspiracy theories, and I'm sure there's some crazy one out there, but I don't know. I just block them and say it's the end of it. No need to make it any bigger than it really is. Oh yeah, oh yeah, we're really crapping it up now in this game. The problem with this game is you have to focus. You can't just stick around like the other games. You actually have to focus because this one's difficult, but I enjoy it. So I hope we can. I hope also in the future to associate with more non-image board sites because um, I think there's a lot of potential for non-image board sites to still be cool and do cool things for the community. Um, I mean, there's definitely less of them, and well, I'm trying to think of one. I know there's forums. Sheepish Patio is pretty decent, but it sucks because I remember at one point I wanted to associate with there was an Ursiats or a Discord out there, and it wasn't great, but it was better in the subreddit at least. The Ursiats or subreddit just sucks. It's just bad. it's there's a watch guide out there that's hilariously terrible that everyone takes as gospel. That literally tells you to watch like the last 3 episodes, like the last 4 or 5 episodes, and then like it tells you to watch like episode 196, but no, I think it's like 190, 185, and 186 after like 25 or something. Because that's the manga order. It's like, what the hell are you on, people? Anyone who knows the series knows the anime and the manga are two different things. They are not the same. They should not be treated as the same. They are different series with the same basis. They are not, in fact, just adaptations. So you get these hilariously terrible opinions. And of course, it's Reddit, so they all update it because it looks okay, and some guy put 2 seconds of effort into making the image. I don't know, man. Reddit isn't a good place if you want to talk with intelligent people for a long period of time. instead of just whatever a bunch of idiots think is good or bad. I mean, if you release it on an image board, you don't have to deal with that. Yeah, sure, you can make bad threads, but they won't get bumped and they'll die. You can try to force it, but it won't get bumped and it will die. But also, it's because people aren't going to reply to bad opinions, or just not good topics. But it sucks because Reddit is some of the only place you can talk about anime sometimes. It seems like in Japan they did a better job of keeping more localized webs. Not localized. I'm just saying they didn't massively embrace the corporate net like we did. And I get that we had kind of no choice. What sucks? I still have a Facebook because there are people in my life who only use Facebook, and it sucks that I every time I open that, I'm like, God damn it, I had to use Facebook. Like, I know people always say, "Oh man, I only use Matrix. I don't use any mainstream site." But the thing is, it sucks for people like normal people, normies like me, who have people in their life they want to talk to that don't want to use Matrix for everything, and you gotta talk to them, but you don't want to talk to them on Facebook, but you kind of have to, and you gotta open Facebook. It's gotta put you with a bunch of crappy ads. Facebook Marketplace is the only good thing about Facebook. It's not even that great, but god damn it, have I found some good stuff on there? I'll say that. Yeah, this is really hard on this. So yeah, Facebook is whack, but I have to use it. Um, Twitter also sucks these days, but at least I can tolerate that kind of. Oh, my camera stopped filming. This camera actually only films in 30-minute intervals, if you can believe it. Hold on. Oops. This is it's actually a Samsung camera. I'm probably gonna sell it one day because it's I got it for photography. It does video okay because I don't know if any photographers out there. Samsung used to make these really great cameras, and then they stopped doing them. So like they were kind of cheap for a while, and then they're more expensive again. I know I need to get on Nikon or something. Some actually I want to keep my glass, and you can't keep your glass with this, but glasses and lenses. So, oh, here's one fact. Let's say Mystery Land Toho. Actually, no, I can run this full screen because it's because now on XDRT I can do this correctly. Here we go. This is how the game is meant to look. I mean that's a good looking game right there. Anyways, building a better net. We can all take part in doing that. It's really as simple as you make a website, you make it look cool, and you tell people, "Oh, come to my website." I get that in some ways the internet is dead, but that doesn't mean we can't recreate parts of it in a way, or we can make it better. Why should I settle for either Reddit or 4chan if we want to talk about old anime? Why should I settle for that? Why can't I build something that takes good aspects of both and make something better? That's what I believe Wapchan. That's what all image board creators I think should believe. Is you make something better. You don't make something that just does one thing more extreme. You make a better internet. You make a better world in some way, some tiny part of the way. I get it. We live in a crappy world, and there's like a zillion things wrong with it that I don't want to get into. But oh yeah, be change you want to be. Classic, super classic. Thank you. I don't know. You know, it's easy enough to just do decent things in this world and not just subscribe to an ideology that's hateful or just low quality. It's really that simple. I'm gonna try again. Actually, I'm gonna try Marissa. I haven't played Marissa in a while. Or as we say, yeah, Melissa. I forgot. Love this stupid English mod. But yeah, I hope Web Channel continues to be a great site for the year to come because I think the site finally is in a place where it can really start forming a solid, decent sized community. I know we struggled with the CSAM and we struggled with the old software and we struggled with getting people to actually use the site for more than 5 seconds before saying, "Oh, it's dead. I don't want to use it." Which, by the way, I always hated when people said that because, like, you know, if you want a site to not be dead, you could just use it and it won't be dead. But then you just say, "Oh, it's dead because it's not active as 4chan." I'm like, 4chan is one of the biggest sites in the world. Of course, it's going to be really active. You know, it's ridiculous that you gotta have people compare it to that. To be fair, people don't know what our image board is, so it's their only source of reference. But still, But that's why I think it's important that we find people from outside 4chan because there are people who can contribute a lot of good stuff that are just stuck on the corporate net, you know? I get it. Immature people are usually self-selecting to be kind of cool in some way, usually. Sometimes they suck, but usually they're a tiny bit more cooler than the average normie because they self-selected enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. And so I want more OC people. We gotta do more OC, you know. Whoever there's some man who made the new banners recently, which was super cool. Especially he made one that was based on touch, and I love touch, so you know, thank you for that. But it's just it's a site. It's a site made of people making people stuff for people. You know, it's in a way I found Wapchan to be formed on the values of Dojin culture, or you know, just building stuff. You know, just making fan content because we love stuff in this world. You know, why not spread more of that love? You know, not in a hippie way, but just in the kind of cool way. I don't like hippies. I'm just not. You're not gonna see me busking at the street anytime soon. But what am I talking about? I don't know. I don't usually get all philosophical about laugh sharing, but you know, it's as simple as you know, I want to make a site that's cool that people like, and I've been on this tangent for quite a while, so I don't know what else there is to say honestly. I'm gonna add more. Oh yeah, the keys aren't configured correctly, so I'm gonna keep jamming bombs, but I'm gonna keep adding more music, which we'll see if that lasts because I wonder if the copyright goons will ever come after me with than that one. We'll see, but like there's way more soundtracks I need to add that I just haven't got around to because it takes a while to actually add the album art for everything. But that's gonna be a thing. I hope the Toho VM goes somewhere because that'd be super cool. I want to now. I need to get back into game development because for years now I wanted to make this Rumiko Takahashi character fighting game. You know, I always called it Rumik Fighter, but back in the day when I was making those story times, I proposed that. I'm like, you know, that's still a cool idea, and that's always gonna be a cool idea. I hope next year I can find the time to get around to making that a reality. I'm working on a few other projects at the moment. I'm working on a marching band drill writer. That's something that's big, that's important to me. I'm working on. I need to bring back my own personal website because the personal website has been dead for a while. I'm using 11T for that. For the marching band thing, I'm using Flutter. But for the Runic Fighter, I might want to use probably Godot or something similar. I don't know. I could use something lower level like STL, but you know you want it to run on multi-platform. So we'll see how that goes because you know I'd love to make that game a reality. It's a game that everyone's been asking for, and for Rumiko people, because you know all those characters they love to beat the shit out of each other anyway. So it's like it's a perfect choice. You know, I hear I played the Sega CD game. There was a little bit of a Urushiatsu fighter in that. It was dead simple, but it's like man, that'd be so much fun. You know, so. Plus, it would just be fun to craft storylines where all these characters that have nothing to do with each other all meet each other for some stupid reason. And of course, it's Rumiko World, so it's all some goofy reason, but they all have to fight each other. And of course, they naturally would anyways. And it's like that's a good framework for building the game. I tell you. Now, the issue is that I've never been a big fighting game person. Um, like it's just not something that was ever like the fighting game I played the most was Smash Bros. You know, platform fighter. I never really played Street Fighter a bunch. Even Mortal Kombat, I totally suck at the arcade because you know I'm not good at the combos. That's the tough part. It's like even with the Toho fighting games, the combos are difficult for me. I got a stick, but then you gotta remember, oh man, I gotta go left. You know, I think it's like one of Sakuya's attacks. It's like left, down, right, and then down, and then hit the button, and it's like, man, that's like you gotta do that really fast, you know. And I get it, I need to grind, but basically, I need to play more fighting games so I can actually get an idea of good mechanics. And of course, when I make this game, it'll be a fan game, so I'm not gonna charge anything for it because that'd be stupid. But I hope that's a project that you know good people of Wapchan could help out with because that's something that would be really fun for all of us. There's some other things I wanted to do that just never got off the ground. I always wanted to do a Urusei or a fan dub. We just never had the crowd for that yet. Maybe that'll come out sometime. You know, one based off the BBC dub. That'd be a lot of fun. You know, And because yeah, I'm sure I could use AI voices, but come on, that's soulless. We all know that one. We want random children, random anons screaming into their mic, as we say. Yeah, yeah. And I'm open to other suggestions for whatever you want to do, whatever anyone wants to do on the site, as long as it's within the site character. It's not not against the rules, and as long as you're not trying to grift people, because thing I thing I don't like the most is people trying to make a quick buck. You know, you make something good, you don't make something cheap. You can go to other sites for cheap crap. You go Wapchan for good stuff. Wapchan, I've always prided on being a high quality site. Um, a site where a site where people can post intelligent stuff, and they know they can because it won't get wiped off the board in 2 seconds like on VorChan. That's the main thing. It's as simple as that, honestly. You know, and I do want to run way more streams. I've been genuinely busy in my life, and to be fair, it was always hard for me to run the streams on Friday. I did it because Kind used to run their streams on Saturdays and Sundays, and I didn't want to conflict with them. But Fridays are busy, I have a job, I do stuff in my life. I don't sit around and jag off all day. It's like other people, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is that I'm free on the weekends. I'm not free on the weekdays. And like obviously I work from home, but still I got things to do. But hopefully I can run way more streams on Sundays. I know Sunday. Hopefully Sunday's a good day. I know the time is probably not the best for Europeans, but it's the best I can do. I'm an American, and I'm probably going to stay an American, so I'm going to run it on an American time zone. I will say it's always funny when people think that people should do things always based on Japanese time. I'm like, yeah, I guess it's cool if you live in Japan, but like Japanese time for me is like literally the is opposite of the world. Like I'm in the East Coast, so it's like it's a crazy amount of hours off. It's like almost an entire day, and it's like yeah, I'm not going to run things based on Japanese time just because it's Japan. You know, I noticed the famous meme about, oh, thing and then thing Japan. I don't glorify Japan. I don't think it's the greatest place in the world. I just think they made a lot of cool stuff. That's all. You don't have to show for the government or anything. But uh, what am I saying? So what I'm saying is that the streams will be based on 1 p.m. Eastern time, which I think is like what is it? It's like 10 a.m. Pacific time, which hopefully if you're awake, that's fine. And for Europeans, it's like 6 p.m. or something, so maybe they're not at work or whatever. It's the weekend actually, because they have more free time than we do. But basically, what I'm saying is I want to run it, and also these streams are going to be probably 30 minutes to an hour at most for now. Eventually, I want to run my own personal streams as well, and those will be ones like this one where I'm actually talking. These ones I'm running with the Wapchan will be they'll be like the side tube streams. I just play a video, but that's it. Um, but it'd just be cool to expose people to more anime. People don't watch enough anime. I know there's a guy on Twitter that I've always think did a good job. I think it's like Kenny Waterdale or something. No, some guy. He always posts old anime. You know, he does a good job of that. I want to be more like that, except not walled off in some private Discord. That's the difference. Just spread the good word. Like I watched a few months ago. I watched Ghost Super Mikami for the first time. Excellent series. It feels like it's very much in the style of like uh oh yeah, people are gonna assume anyways. Yeah, I know. I know the meme is consume. I obviously you should not be fully consume mindset, but at least consume good media. Don't consume TLC crap. Consume something good. Don't watch some crappy isekai, 50 million times because you want to. I remember actually back when it came out, I watched Sword Art Online, infamous 2 years worth, as we all say. But that series is just it was just so stupid, and it's like, man, this is anime. That was the first anime I watched in full, if you can believe it. Was fucking Sword Art Online. I know we all come from somewhere, unfortunately, and that's where I came from. And I improved my taste, but that's where I came from. So what I'm saying is that you can do a lot better in that. And I'm also not saying old good, new bad, even though it's true a lot of times because there is new good. I liked Hibike Euphonium, the thread I posted on Modern. That's one of my favorite animes in recent years, and animes, whatever. One of my favorite series in recent years. I haven't read the manga, but I love the anime, especially the new season. That's a great show. I was a bands person myself for many years, so I felt like that's a good anime, and that's also a topic they never really did. And I mean, there's never really an old anime about that. They were able to do that successfully. It was a good show. Um, I what was that? What was that one about the PC-98 ones? I saw the subs on that one too. That was a good. Obviously that one's about old stuff, but it's like um, you can do a lot of cool stuff. In good anime. That's why I have the modern war. Because like, plus I don't think all modern anime sucks. I think I have a stupid opinion. Yeah, yeah. So it's like you like good stuff, and you like good stuff that's good, and you don't like bad stuff that's bad. Old, good, new, bad, whatever it is. I don't. I would say I'd recommend the Urusei reboot if it was good. It's just not. That's the thing. It's just not good. Like I don't hate it because it's. I will say the TikTok thing in the intro is stupid, but I don't dislike it because I think it's new and it should have been still anime. That's stupid. But you know, I can say the soundtrack sucks compared to the old one. I can say that because that's a true opinion. I mean, yeah, I guess an opinion, but it's also just a fact that the old soundtrack had all those cool synths and random sounds, and the new one just sounds incredibly generic. It's like I should. What I'm saying is that you gotta hate if you dislike something, at least dislike it for a good reason. Not don't just say, oh, it's bad because it's bad or because they told me to say it's bad. No, no, just dislike it because it's not good. There's a difference. What else can I do on this wonderful computer? Actually, another thing. For anyone who follows the friend boards, I'm helping the folks at 38chan because their site shut down randomly because their admin just kind of vanished. But some of the mods are helping to rebuild the board, so I'm helping them set up BChan again because that's the thing with image boards. Sometimes admins just disappear out of nowhere. Oh, that's what it is. Here we go. Here, this is the shit right here. There we go. Now we're talking. But it's like they disappear out of nowhere, and it sucks because like I forgot the controls. Alright, remind me game. What are the controls? Okay, Z, Z, and X. I see. Oh yeah, it's like a pinball machine. It's crazy. Here we go. So, those things. Yeah. So don't worry. It'll be back up probably within actually the day. All I need to do is fix the DNS. They gave me SSH access, which is Oh come on! I tilted. Damn it. I never actually tilted a real pinball machine. I've played a bunch of pinball machines. I think my favorite is the old Ninja Turtles pinball. I love that. Or actually, there's like a massive one that Atari made in the 70s that was really cool too. But so that sets you back up within. I keep tilting. Am I hitting the wrong buttons? I should not be tilting. What am I doing? I know. I'm displaying my lack of skill in 3D pinball for Windows Space Cadet. Real embarrassing stuff, I know. Here we go. Let's make the controls cool and simple. Yeah, just here we go. So that should be up relatively soon, probably within the end of the day. I was actually working on it right before this stream, but my duty comes to my users and then to other boards. But I don't know. I've actually never really done a lot of. I was never a big Vocaloid person. Just kind of never really tried it out. I don't know. I know Hatsune Miku. Yeah, I know it exists. But I don't listen to Vocaloids a lot. So maybe I will more. But their boards seem genuine enough, and it seems like they know what they're doing. So they just need someone with a little more board running experience because when you run a board, you learn the things. Oh, did it? Shoot, you know what? Wait, hold on. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Give me a second. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Sorry. I definitely accidentally hit the mouse on there. There we go. We're back. We're so back. So, yeah, let's play a game. This game is cool. When I was a kid, my favorite thing to do on the Windows XP computers at school was I'd always go on Google Earth and I would do the flight sim and try to crash into buildings because that's it's the years after 2001. That's what all of us did. The golden years, as we say, in the Bush era. Just kidding, Bush sucked. But not to wax my political opinions, but I just want to say that that's what I used to do as a kid because we had Windows XP PCs growing up. And I like the operating system. Yeah, it's also a delightfully crappy operating system in a number of ways. I remember when I was young, I used to get blue screens because I was a big person that kind of downloaded a bunch of free games. Whatever free it said I just got. That's the old internet for you. Uh, so and I played games. It's funny because back in the day when people were all playing Steam games in the mid aughts, I was on a real arcade. So I played like Pop Tap games a lot, but and I love Zuma. That's a good game. And Sand Aquarium, another classic as we say. But what am I talking about? So yeah, it just I'm not good at this game, am I? Come on, damn, are you kidding me? So what I'm saying is that I hope basically I'm rambling, but I hope Wapchan becomes a better site, and I hope the users help make it a better site, and I hope it expands beyond the image board world that it currently lives in. Not that this will ever become some big media website, but it'd be cool if we could have like a section where people post news and opinions. Obviously people could do that in the threads, but I always see news websites, anime news website like fullfrontal.mo. There's another one, the Classic Anime Museum. They're like WordPress sites, and these guys post their opinions. I'm like, we could have something like that. We could have like a gallery where people post images. No, well, it's like obviously it'd be more like op-eds and stuff, but it's like you know, I envision the Wapchan becoming eventually, maybe the spiritual successor to the Anapike of old. Now, I never used Anapike. That was before my time, but I've always seen people talk about the Anapike, and I think that was a cool looking site. The internet deserves something like that again, and maybe Webchannel can be that. Who knows? Um, in fact, actually, I built. There's actually a GIF that I have. It's an edit of the Anapike girl with the lab channel there. Oh man, something awful. You're right. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I guess something awful would be kind of a good comparison. And oh, how fitting. The progenitor of 4chan. So it's like we all come from somewhere, don't we? But yeah, it's like I, basically I vision it as a little more an image board. I know like last year when I tried to do that weird rebrand to LapNet, that didn't stick around. But the idea of building a site that's more than just a board, not a comprehensive site, but a site that oh man, what did I just do? Holy crap! Look at that. That's skill right there. But building a site that's building a site where you can get information, you can get opinions. Like, and I guess I don't know. I tried to do that the Rumiki. The Rumiki is probably kind of a dead project, unfortunately, because I might revive it, but it seems like there's basically no interest in that right now, which I get it. It's niche. It's very niche. And I can't read Japanese, so it's not really fair for me to try to run a wiki when I can't even read the source material. But, you know, something similar. Not with wikis, but like just maybe just a static site generator that people can use. You could post your reviews or something almost maybe not quite like mall or analyst, but maybe something simpler. But and I get in some ways it doesn't need to exist because you got NeoCities. People can build personal sites, but maybe just a news section always. Maybe just a little bit of a news section where I can post stuff because WebChan is also in many ways a personal site. I don't know if there'll ever be a day where WebChan is run by someone else. I hope that doesn't happen in the near future. If it needs to happen, it will, but I don't think it will because I'm in a comfortable position to run this site. But I would like to have more staff that help out with moderation and community event planning. As long as you're of the same mind as me. It's easy enough to get in contact and we make it work. Well, I got a high score, which is good because the only other score was sucked. Also, it's running an 8-bit color, so it looks like crap. I love 8-bit color. I wish you could do 1-bit color on Windows XP. I know on the Macintosh you can do 1-bit color and it looks gloriously awful. Actually, I have a Mac Plus somewhere around here. I don't know if it works. I had to resolder the analog board, but that's a fun machine to screw around with, even though it doesn't run very well. I wish I had more 16-bit computers because I have this Apple IIgs, and it's kind of cool. I play Oregon Trail, and of course I played the farmer because I have high skill. I didn't do very well, but I'm playing a banker. He's in Boston. I mean, come on, people. Oh, here's something cool I can do. Check it out. Look at that. And that's 3D text right there. That's effort. Oh, do cockly emails. I don't know. Isn't cock.ly having issues or something? Are they still up? I thought they were having there's something that going on with them. The best way be I mean, I don't know. Technically my email is under Gmail, so maybe it'll work. I don't know actually. But you can also, if you are willing to use Discord, you can message me there. Obviously, if people aren't willing to. I have a matrix. If people want to contact me on that. I think it's oh, they're back. Yeah, so you can try emailing me on Gmail and see if that works. It's admin@wapchan.org. I'm on some IRC channels if you want to message me on there. Like I know if you ever try on Rise on the Wap, I think it's Wapchan.org is the channel. I'm on there. I have ZNC because I'm in a lot of tracker IRC servers, but I'm also on there. So if you can message me out there, I might get it. But basically, if you want to message me, those are the main ways to do it. Usually, for now, most of the communication's gone through Discord only because it's an easy chat platform that everyone kind of has. And it's the thing is, it's tough to make something that is as convenient and also as good. I mean, I don't think Discord's bad if you use it for what it was originally intended for as a basic chat service. Obviously it's centralized and it still sucks kind of, but at least it's convenient. Like I always found it tough to do IRC on my phone without a bouncer because keep disconnecting and reconnecting and it's a little bit of a pain. So if you want to try doing any of those, you could message me there. Um, my emails are always open as long as you don't spam me with stupid crap. Please don't. But if you have anything intelligent to say, you can always welcome to say it. How long have I been doing this for? Let me check. It's for like a little while now, I think, actually. Let's see. I'm curious. Shoot, where are we at? We're at like over an hour or something, probably. Okay, I might wrap this up soon. Oh, shit, we're almost at like 3 hours. I think I'll wrap this up, honestly, because I've said pretty much everything I need to say for the moment. I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot of games here. I'll get more games soon, and there'll be YouTube videos soon, and they'll be cool soon, and more people will come to Wapchan soon, and it'll be a good site. I believe 2025 will be the year Wapchan went from an okay site to a really cool site. Not that it was always a bad, not that they were a bad site, but I mean, look at that. I can watch the stream on my computer. Now that's really stupid, but you can do it. Oh, when I make videos, I want to make sure they're 4:3. I think the resolution is like it's like I know there's 1260 by 960. No, 1260 by 960. And it's like the 1080p 4:3 resolution where it's cut down. I want to do that. I mean, because the thing about 4:3 videos, someone on Twitter told me this. It makes sense actually. They're actually better for phones too because you know you don't have to tilt. You can just watch it vertically. And of course, they're not the abomination that is 9:16, which can die for all I care. Oh, by the way, I don't know if anyone's used this, but I did this pretty simply. This is really cool. You can just put this in the background. Look at that. I listened all the way. So, um, but so how are the other boards doing? Let me check. I'm curious. Like Kari Chan's doing well. I'm sure Cyrano has always been a good friend of Wapchan. Um, this site, I'm gonna be honest. People want frames. I've never been a frame guy. I just haven't. I don't get frames. That's just not my thing, unfortunately. I'll probably add it to the site if people like it, but I've never understood why I use frames for navigation like this. I only use frames for adding, external content. This site, I don't actually go on Cheapest Patio very much. But I will say, oh, this site's cool, by the way. I've seen this site. It's like a forum, but it's nice because it's actually they made their own code for it, so very cool stuff. What else? This one, I think it's one by Rads. He's doing a good job, even though I will say, in some ways, this site almost feels like Hatery Light in a little bit of a way, which is, I kind of wish it was run a little differently, but it's promising. And then there's our good friends at Dead 39 Chan. It's not up yet. It'll be up soon. But yeah, I guess it's not working. And there's these guys who just contacted us yesterday. I don't know, they seem chill. I'm sure they're a small site, but we are a small site. I believe in them. Look at that. We are the friend, and I don't know. It's a small site, but it's also a focused site, and the CSS is good. Nothing too complicated there. I gotta read this. I gotta read Homestuck. I haven't read it. Crazy enough. I know. What you think a child of the old internet like me would read it, but no, I never did. And I went on Newgrounds a lot. I don't know. I played Sim Girls. It was not a good game, but it was a game that was on. Um, you can see some of the sites I visit. I don't know. Here's a GitHub. God, do I love GitHub. Oh yeah, I was looking at DOSBox X, which doesn't even run on Windows XP. It does not run well. Um, Anything else? I don't know. I can go to the registry, click around in there. Oh, I had to get some programs here. 7-zip, super cool. All right. Yeah, I think that's how I wrap this up. As you can see, it's like 3 o'clock here. So I think I can bid you adieu. Let me turn this off. Goodbye. And there it goes. We love you, Windows. Anyways, another wonderful stream from your friends at wapchan.org, always saying that you should take care of yourself and post good memes and go see. Um, Cautiously optimistic. That's fair. That's fair. I don't blame you. I mean, yeah, I hope it doesn't get worse. I mean, do you think it'll get worse? Do you think, or do you think we'll get the wrong crowd coming in? Because that might happen. I'm not sure. I want it not to, but because the thing is, I want the site to be a little less insular than it is right now. The site's very insular at the moment, and I want to open it up a little bit more. Not in changing how things are posted, but just advertising to more disparate people on the internet. That's a risk. There is a risk in that. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. No, I thought you were worried. Which, if you're worried, I'd be like that makes sense, because there's a. I'm not gonna say there's like a big conspiracy, but it's like it's hard to make a site like this work. It's not an easy thing. You can't just plop sit in 2 seconds. It's like make a site where it's great. Like I know a site that I've been very proud of is what's the Space Hay, like the MySpace clone. That's a good site, and that guy made it himself, and I'm very impressed. Like that's a cool site. It's like, but it's not easy. It's hard work. Which sounds stupid because you're just sitting on a computer, but like it's still it's genuine work to make a site that not only works but you know stays online and fosters a community that's actually good, not bad, um, or just quality. So other than that, I think we're good. So if you ever want to message me, you know how to reach me, or it's on the contact page of my email. So other than that, I wish you Calvatres. I wish you a very happy day. Happy holidays. Just obviously I'll be streaming tomorrow, so you're not the last you'll be seeing of me. But I don't know if I'll be doing another video stream like this where I talk before the holidays. We'll see. I'm getting close to starting making the YouTube videos. I hope to get my first one up before the end of the year, but um, I just got the entire setup ready. It's just writing scripts now, and oh, it's always nice chat. And I got the Adobe Suite pirated, of course, because I'm not a sucker. But So I basically have all the equipment ready to start making stuff. Now it's just you write the script, you put it together, you do some cool editing, and there you go. You got quality content out there. So um, take care, and I wish you the best. Let me turn this off.